somewhere around the 21st of June in 1968. We was operating in an area we call the Hobo Woods. This is in the southern area of Vietnam. And the enemy was a dug-in position, and we was on a search and destroy mission when we ran into them. And during the process, firefight broke out. I guess I was knocked out momentarily, but when I came to myself, the only thing I could hear was the lieutenant or somebody hollering, pull back, pull back. So I looked around and there's nobody up here with me except for maybe the dead that was laying there and me. And in my mind, the survival mode kicked in. So I said, well, I got to get out of here. So I got up to run back to where I thought the rear was at. And when I got ready to step out to run, I fell face down. And then I was wondering why I can't run, what happened. And I tried to get up and I looked and I saw the wet trousers and the hole, raggedy hole in my trouser leg. And when I tried to move my leg, it was like it was I had no control. So I rolled my body over, reached inside the tear and ripped it open where I could see. And then when I looked over, it was like I was looking right at the bone. And I had to lay there for a minute to get my thoughts together because of the shock of, see, you see your blood and holes in your body and like that, it kind of does something to me. But then I thought about what I need to do to stop the bleeding. So I had on what we call the drive-on rag. Actually, it was a rag with white sweat. We always carry one around our neck. And I took the rag and used it as a tourniquet, tried to stop the bleeding. And then after I did that, I got up on one leg and I literally hopped back to where the rest of my unit was at in a more safe place than where we was at up there on line. And that's when I found out that Gillespie, the grenadier, was blown in half and the machine gunner was wounded, along with myself. And there were several others in other squads on that perimeter that had been wounded also. And I was medevaced out with the wounded. And it's something that it seemed like it's getting a little bit easier to talk about, but I don't really appreciate talking about it, to be honest with you. And then when in some things you start talking to other people about that don't know anything about, it's like, why is he talking about that, man? It's the only one they want to hear. I mean, the expressions on their faces. So the veterans, for the most part, don't like to talk to civilians because they don't seem to know what we're talking about anyway. The only people we talk to pretty openly is another vet because he can relate and he knows where you're coming from. That's why the silent, and it's easier to deal with if you don't talk about it. Well, at least we think it is. Now I'm beginning to learn, the more you talk about it, the better it is for you. But in my mind, before I ever took any kind of training or treatment, the less you talk about it, the less problem it is for you. Because you like Barrett, don't ever bring it up. But at the same time, it's eating away at you from the inside out. The experiences, death experiences, not primarily with myself, but the deaths of others, my friends. Things like this, when you come from a town of of basically working and everybody getting along fairly well and everybody's poor. But you're not used to death. I mean, right in your face, death. People that's young, that should be alive and walking and talking, but they're dead. How do a young mind, 22 years old, deal with that? You know, like Gillespie, for instance. When I talk about him, Gillespie was a man that I'd been around. He'd get letters from his sisters and stuff. He'd bring the letters to me a lot of times. So now, read this, read it. See what my sisters talking about, what they've done last week or whatever, you know. It's just little things. And then to lose him the way we did, I don't know if his parents, I don't think they did open the casket when he got home. I would have liked to have been able to go to them, and I know our custom in the platoon, when a man got hurt or killed, we'd always send a letter. Everybody signed off on the letter and send it to the parents. But I never got to do that for him. So I don't know what kind of letters they got, even if they even got a letter. But that's always been kind of messing with me. And now that all the stuff I did have got destroyed in the moving around, and I wouldn't even know how to contact his parents, if his parents is still alive. His sisters probably is, but I don't know where to start to contact them. But I think about them often. But that's one of my own. That's a personal issue.